I just want to start the recording. So I'm Yoke van Dam. I do training, leadership development. I work with leaders and teams. And for today, I'm definitely not the complete expert on this, but I've done quite a bit of work with entrepreneurs, and this is really amazing using the business model canvas to kind of like look at your business holistically to see, are there areas you're actually missing out on where you could maybe get more coaching or where you could get other partners involved. So I want you to see this to also know you're probably going to have to spend a few hours on this. Just doing it in this session is not going to be enough, but this is going to be the starting point for you. And what I've done is I've asked Mariette, she's emailed it to the people that are on the list, but I wanted to ask people that are in the call right now that are not on this list, please can you maybe just drop your email address in the chat box, and Mariette, or give yourself a number so she could actually WhatsApp you the document, or otherwise, Mariette, maybe you can drop it into the chat box as well for them to just download it. So I work with leaders and teams, and we do a lot of interesting things to really inspire people. It's all about really building teams confidence, cultivating a growth mindset, getting teams in flow so that they can work better together. And I came across this business model canvas actually in 2017 when I started my own business. I went on a lot of entrepreneurship courses, and then I actually looked at this company Strategyzer that came up with a concept originally. We're helping business schools to see how can we make a business model that's much quicker than it's going to be this really thick document taking you 5 years to write, and then it's not applicable anymore. While if it's on one page, you can very easily pivot and change things around. So when you're actually looking at a business model canvas, it's actually looking at all of these areas. So what are the sources of revenue? Who's the target customer base? What types of products or services do you have? What's your details of financing? Those are the kind of things that usually goes into a business plan. And this is now in a much simpler way on one sheet that you can very quickly see what's happening in your business. And what's ideal about this is it's just on one simple piece of paper. So ideally, it's easy to understand, it's focused, it's customer focused, shows connections. It's very easy to communicate this to other people. And that's what we're going to be doing here today. So I'm going to quickly take you through high level, the two sides of the business model canvas, just quickly, and then we're going to go dig deeper. So if we're looking at it from the right side, do you see here where it says the green? This side is all about how do you generate revenue for your business, while the left-hand side is the costs to your business. So we're going to start with how do you generate revenue before we get to the cost side. So the first segment that we're going to look at that we'll have a breakout on in a little bit is your customers. So I put an example there for me in my business. Some of my ideal clients are marketing and sales teams, junior, middle, and even senior managers, and female leaders based on the specific programs that I do. What is your value proposition? In a nutshell, that's about what fires are you killing? What are you making less? What pain are you making less for your customer? And what are you giving them? So what are they gaining? What are they losing? That is your value proposition. Then you get into customer relationships. So there we're going to talk about your customer journey. How do you get clients? How do you keep clients? How do you upsell clients? What is your process of actually getting clients? Then you're looking at channels. So channels is ways of distribution. How does your product or service actually get to your clients? Then we're actually looking at revenue streams. So how are you going to earn money? Is this through masterclasses, training programs, online programs, downloadable resources? Is this through coaching, consulting, keynotes, books, writing articles? What are some of the ways in which you are making money? Now, if we look on the left-hand side, this is where it's about the costs. Now we're looking at who are your key partners. So what can you outsource to focus on your activities. So this could be important suppliers, it could be people using an IT, accounting, virtual assistants, but also core partners. So I know Tingai as runs quite a few businesses, and I think Liberty is one of her core partners. So what are your core activities that actually allows you to deliver on your value proposition? So how do you go about delivering on that value proposition? What are your key resources? So what key resources do you have in your business? And do you need? So we'll go into more detail on that. And then what are your cost structures? So what are the major costs in your business? So in a nutshell, as you can see, there's quite a lot to look at. So we are going to be working through this, and I'm going to be delving a bit deeper. If you want to get these slides from me, drop your email address. I'll give you my email address afterwards. You can pop me an email and I'll send you the handouts. All right. So ultimately, what value are you delivering to your audience, being in speaking and training? So I wanted to ask you, who are your customers? Who is it that you're serving? Do you know what market they are in? Are they in the engineering industry? Are they in the business to business industry? Are you speaking to, like Henjajeka is speaking to parents? But if she has to be a bit more specific, it could be parents in private schools, you know, she's putting them in a certain class, or parents of teenagers that play sports. That's already creating that market a little bit firmer than just saying, all parents are my market, all parents are not your market. So who are they? In what country are they? Where are they based? So if you're thinking of customer segments, if you're thinking of a company like Google, they serve two markets: the people that are searching and the people that are advertising, and the content creators. So I put an example in there. I serve leaders in junior and middle management of businesses. I serve women in leadership, marketing, and sales teams. So in what markets are you pitching your speaking training business? So what I've done, I'm just going to take you through this, but I've created a little handout for you. And after I've explained this little section for you, Mariette is going to put you in breakout rooms for 6 minutes with 2 people in a room. And you are going to have to quickly go through these questions. So each one of you will have 3 minutes to say to the other person in your room, what stresses your clients out? And here are specific questions. So what's happening with your audience at the moment? What situation are they in? What do they need to do differently? What's going to happen if they don't change? What's their job day to day? How will they know that they are being successful? What frustrates them? What's their dreams and desires? And here are more questions. So what's their income? What is their occupation? What's their educational level? Do they have a degree? Do they only have a high school degree? Do they have a postgraduate qualification? Are they in a specific industry? What's their role in society? Do they serve on a committee, you know, at places? Do they contribute to charities? What is that person like? You can look at plus minus what's their age, their gender, or what's their marital status, where do they live? Are they urban, suburban? What's their language? Even religion. So I'm going to ask Mariette to specifically put you in breakout rooms for 6 minutes in groups of 2. And what you're going to do is, let me just quickly show you this again. So you have the one document, which looks like this, that you can literally go to customer segments and type in there some of your answers. So as you're working with your friend, you can actually make notes on your own computer, on your own sheet, and save it for yourself. Or you can write it on a piece of paper. And then Mariette has a separate sheet specific on customer segments. So before we go into breakout rooms, please unmute yourselves if you have any questions about this specific exercise. Madisheko?
Hi, you too.
Hey, Rebecca. Yes.
Hi. How long did it take you in terms of knowing that you are serving the people that you are serving, and what are they? What would you advise in terms of when you are really focusing, or when you are doing your target market? What is important?
So, so maybe look at who's ideal clients that you've had, who's someone that have paid you in the past, and maybe mirror it on them. Does that help you?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So if you look at that company and that person that actually paid for the deal, who were they? You know, were they married? What was their pronouns? What were their beliefs? What were they like? What were their pains, their frustrations? So base it on someone that you know that have done business with you. And maybe what you can do is you can actually, so 6 minutes is not enough, but you're just going to try it out. So if you want to just give one person a chance in your group, then allow that person to use the entire 6 minutes. Otherwise, you can split it into 3 minutes between you guys. Okay. Any other questions? Mariette, we can't hear you. You're muted. Mariette, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I just couldn't get my PC to fit unmute. I'm sorry, guys. My PC is hanging and it's actually causing chaos for me at the moment. I'm going to break you out. And because we're 9 people at the moment, somebody's going to drop in as a third person, but somebody's to actually come out again. So I'm going to do some manual maneuvering. Just go in and then you'll see that I posted the question. And if you open your WhatsApp for the Global Women Mastermind, you will see the question of published the WhatsApp of the Global Mastermind as well. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Madisheko.
Hi, Yoke. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I'm saying it's a bit tricky on my side, né? Because I usually, serve leisure clients. So sure, I don't know how I'm gonna do on this one, because most of them, like I say, it's leisure clients. I'm not, I'm serving them on leisure, leisure grounds. If
So you don't have to do it from the speaking industry side, base it on your business. So just go through those questions and think of someone that have bought from you in the past. Can you do that?
Okay, yes.
You know what I mean? Say like Diane, she bought this trip and whatever. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mariette, please don't put me in a group. I'll be here as support if people need help.
Okay, just leave then where I put you, and then I can move people manually. Okay,
cool.
Please. Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Again, so let me just continue. So this could be like handouts, YouTube, recordings, podcasts, having a skinny book, slides, workbooks, taking people on a journey, an online program, home presentations where you're actually going to people specifically. So those are just some ideas that I had for you that could potentially work. So that's specifically your channels. How do people actually, what are you delivering and how are you getting it to them? And now we're looking at your customer relationship. So what this is really about, this is almost thinking on the sales side. How do you get customers? How do you keep them? And how do you grow them? So what you want to think about in this regard is how do you build trust and rapport with your clients? So do you get them through Google AdWords, through social media, through cold calling? So what I was saying to Chipo, if she actually identifies she has done work with people in the mining industry, or she's done work with the banks, or she's done work with media, you were saying like different printing companies or advertising agencies, what you could do is identify those specific companies and say, for the next month, I'm going to target these media agencies specifically. I'm going to get a list, research them, contact them, go have meetings, put emailers together, go do presentations. Like, you could really be very strategic. Or you could say, I want to get into the mining industry. I don't even know where to start. There's a show at Gallagher Estate. Let me go and get cards and speak to people so that I can know what companies to go and research and talk to. So an idea that I gave Njijeka, that is in the parenting industry, and she was emceeing an event the other day that they weren't paying her, and I said to her, no, you need to get a trade exchange. So if they are getting value of you as an MC, what are you getting in return? So I said to her, who is your ideal clients? And some of her ideal clients is parents. So I said to her, what can the school give you? So now she's getting advertising. She's writing for the newsletter. She's getting postings on their websites, their social media. So sometimes you need to be assertive and ask for what you want, or then cheaper, for instance, look at in the mining industry, is there a specific place where you could ask to be a speaker? We're actually speaking to your target audience about customer service or whatever it might be, where you could get leads. So you're actually putting yourself in front of those people. Or you try to identify media conferences to go to, or financial conferences to go to. So if I was you, I would buddy up with some guy that is in the financial industry that could introduce you to those type of people as well. So here are some ideas. So do you have loyalty programs? So if people have booked work with you, you know, they do so many bookings, they get a discounted fee. Do you give ongoing feedback and reporting? Do you sometimes do free speaking events? Do you have sales meetings? Do you have a pipeline strategy? Do you actually have a newsletter where you're getting people on there so you can get them, you know, keep on communicating with them? So what you want to think of here is, how am I getting in front of the potential customers? And when I have them, how are I going to keep them and keep communicating to them so that they want to keep on doing business with me? So you actually want to think of your entire customer journey from that moment where they engage with you the first time. So I'll give you an example of me and Tsungai. So we are more like collaborative partners. I saw a mutual friend of ours. I saw that Tsungai was a speaker at one of her events that I've already spoken at. And this lady spoke really highly of Tsungai. And she said, wow, she was so impressed. She really thought Tsungai took it to another level, speaking about your succession plan in business. And I was like, well, I better get that recording and watch it. You know, it's always good to learn from other amazing speakers. And then got in contact with her and just said, wow, that was amazing. And then the next thing, she invited me to speak with her on a panel. So we didn't know each other at all, but we got to know each other through mutual collaboration, watching videos of each other's content, meeting over Zoom. The next time this collaborative friend heard, she literally had an invite from Tsungai, and I was on the photo with her, and she was like, wow, what happened? So I'm just saying to you, even in the virtual space, you can make amazing connections, seeing who knows people in the type of markets and how can you actually work together and open doors for each other. Right, so that's also what I want you to think about. So how do customers find out about you? So some ideas could be, do you post on social media like LinkedIn or Facebook? Do you have business cards? Do you have handouts when you're doing a talk? Do you have something that people can engage with afterwards? Do you give so much value where people say like, oh, I need a coaching session with you. I need a one-on-one, you know? Do you offer a Q&A where they could ask questions? So these are just things that if you are giving value, how could you actually take it to the next level? Do you, at an event, how do you build rapport with the people? Do you, if you're there in person, maybe you could go and chat to everyone beforehand. So I was at a conference the other day, and they had a tea time before my session. I literally went and sat at the ladies, asked them what they do, and they told me about their businesses and all of that. And then afterwards, it was lunch. So then I went and sat with them again. So what can you do to build relationships and rapport that you actually feel like you're friends already with the people? You don't have a cold start. Right, so that's just customer relationships. Then we're looking at revenue streams. So how are you making money? So here are just some ideas. Do you ask a one-time fee? Do you ask a subscription? Do you have a free thing? So you often see this at software. They'll give you a free version, or you could upgrade to premium. Have you ever been on like Canva or any of those, and then you're like, oh, I want those other photos, and then you just go to the next level? So that's like they're getting you in on a certain level, but you want the other functionalities, so you upgrade. So Mike Hancock recently did a talk at the Virtual Speakers. I'm not going to go into what he said, but if you email me, I'll send you a link to a summary of what he spoke about. But basically, he says he has about 12 different levels that people could get into, starting off with free. So like getting in on watching his YouTube videos, his blogs, going to a free event, anything like that, to a low-cost product where there's there's no involvement of him. So like the book, so like a course that people could do on their own, until you finally get to a point where you're involved with minimal amount of involvement, until finally his highest offer is, I don't know, almost like $1 million or something, which involves him and his fiancée that will spend time with you for, I think, like 3 days or 5 days anywhere in the world, just dedicating their time to your business. So they get people in on all levels. Some people just want to immediately go, yo, we'll pay the 3 million. We want to go to Bali and want you to like redo our entire business, you know, or whatever it might be. But you need to actually come up with those different things to see. Sometimes you might work through another company that actually makes use of you, and then you might be paid less. So it's more like an affiliate thing. So see what are your different levels. So asking yourself, when you speak somewhere and people are not paying you, ask yourself, what's in it for me? So is it recognition? Is it visibility? Is it follow-up? Is it an income? Is it a side income? So like I can give you an idea here. So Njijeka is actually one of my coaching clients. So I also invited Njijeka because I said to her, we're having our session on the, I think, 10th of September. I was like, please come to the session. You're going to learn a lot, but we're going to take it much deeper in our session. You're going to have to do the homework after the session, and then I'm going to coach you further. So for me, it can lead to referral income, but it could lead to coaching clients right here. So I'm just saying to you, look at it in your own world. What value is it for you? Or is it even in terms of your current clients that you're giving them extra value? Or your current, like, Tsungai that's here, like extra value for her, a collaborator of mine. Get what I mean? So ask yourself, why are you doing it? All right. So on that note, Mariette, can we just do, what is it now? Can we just do, let's do our 6 minutes. Yes. Let's do 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes in the second session. Hey.
Yes.
Look at that. Okay, got it. So just want to get the questions in. Oh, mouse, please.
Okay, so let me just show you guys. So what you're going to do now is you're going to be discussing the right-hand side. So you're going to be discussing your value proposition, your channels, your customer relationships, and your revenue streams. So if you had to do it in a very quick way, you would literally say, what pain am I taking away from my clients? And what am I giving them? That's your value proposition. Then you're going to be saying, what are my channels of getting business to my clients? You know, so am I on YouTube? Am I doing meetings? Like, is there actual products that get delivered? Is it through your website? Do you have to do every invoice manually? Like, what are your channels, your distribution channels? How do you get clients? How do you keep clients? How do you upsell your clients? And what are some of your revenue streams? So this is just really going to be like a quick download on Dad. All right.
Okay. I'm going to open the rooms on the WhatsApp. I'm going to just put the questions there as well on our global women so that you can see the questions still when you go into the room. Okay. You going?
Cool.
Okay. And then I just need to.
Looks like we had a lot of people drop out.
The questions are still there. Great. Okay. And then I need to say.
Right.
I'll see notice of the chat as well.
Cool.
Afterwards, the emails.
Hey everyone. So I want to what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through the left-hand side of the canvas just so you know what that's about. But then what I'm going to ask is I'm going to ask if one or two people actually wanted to chat us through everything that they have on the one side of their canvas to actually tell us what did they learn and you know, what did they notice, what areas do they still need to do more work on. But I wanted to quickly just talk to you about this left hand side. So this is now your cost structure. So we're starting off with your key resources. So what are your most strategic assets? So this could be a combination of physical. So do you literally have buildings, vehicles, machines? You know, do you have printers? What do you specifically have or need? It could also be intellectual. So it could be brands, it could be your CI, your intellectual property, your knowledge, the knowledge in your head, not patients, sorry, patents or copyrighted products, not patients, sorry. Patients would fall under human. So what are your human resources? So do you actually have people that are working with you or people that form part of your team? And then financial, so this could be lines of credit. So I've actually put some other kind of like software related things. Could also refer to, do you have a learning management software? Do you make use of Zoom? Do you have specific marketing tools that you make use of? So what are your key resources that you have to make use of in your business? Then we're looking at your key activities. So what are you doing to be able to deliver on your value proposition? So some of this could, I've just put ideas in terms of my own. So it could be the presentations you do. So talks like this. Are you doing training? Are you doing speaking? Are you doing consulting? Are you doing podcasts? Are you interviewing people? Are you having sales meetings? Are you doing research? So if you're looking at your key activities, you always want to look at as a project base. So what are the key deliverables, the goals, and the timelines that you want to put in place for specific things? And then we're looking at your key partners. So who are your key partners? So there I put people that you could outsource to. So that could be your IT, your accounting. You could even get people to help you with sales. You could have a virtual assistant. If you're doing podcasting, you could have people that are doing your edits for you. But also, I was looking at a case study of Google, the business, and they were saying one of Google's core partners is actually mobile companies, mobile providers. So I recently bought a new cell phone, and on that cell phone, Google obviously negotiated that Google Chrome, they give it for free, the software, to those mobile providers. Because guess what? Everyone that then gets a phone will then make use of Google Play, will then be searching, which means that there is more people to be advertised to. So immediately the profile is worth a hell of a lot more. So I was giving Njijeka an idea the other day. I saw a friend of mine was doing sessions on a platform called Panda. Panda is for self-care professionals. It's actually in the mental health space. And because Njijeka is in the parenting industry, there's actually a category, parenting. So they could potentially be a partner for Njijeka, where she could get in as a service provider. She could offer sessions there. So it's like you're giving something away, but you can also in that way get access to clients that could then book you for work. So what are potential places that could form a partnership with you where you could get in on their channels, into their places? I'll give you an example of something I did many years ago. I had a partnership with a university that actually I was giving them a few free courses on elevator pitches, preparing for interviews. And we did it like, 45-minute sessions. It was actually at their venue, at the university, and they advertised it, they sent out newsletters. And the thing is, what they then did is they gave me a venue for free. But basically what we did is I was doing all of those courses and getting leads, people that then actually booked to come on the course. But guess what? They then also advertised my offer for the paid course to their entire base. So I ended up getting lecturers coming, students coming. I also had master students coming that were all working. So I eventually had engineers contacting me and saying, we couldn't come to the course at the university. Can you come do it at our business? I got a few coaching clients that I had ongoing work with. So through that one key partnership, it actually opened up a lot of doors for me. So look at what are potential places that could actually be a win-win type of partnership for you. So who are your key partners? Why do you have them? And how do they help you? And then we're actually looking at your cost structure. So what is the most important things that you are spending money or investing in? And what are your most expensive costs that's actually going to allow you to deliver on your value proposition? What is this? Oh, this is just a summary. So let me just show you this. Oopsie. So guys, I wanted to invite 1 or 2 volunteers to maybe take me through the side that you've already discussed with someone, and you can just answer these questions. So starting with who are the people you want to talk to? So who's the customer? How do you create trust and a connection with that audience? How do you keep them? How do you get them? How do you keep them? How do you upsell them? How do you deliver what they want? Is it products? Is it in physical space? What is it that they want? What are their needs? And how are you getting payment? What is it that you want? Is it a once-off? Is it an upsell model? What is it? And for this section, I'm actually going to stop recording. So
what I do is that I cannot continue doing, what do you call it? Word of mouth or trying to scratch there. I need to be intentional about selling because that's why we have businesses. Thank you so much.
And the word of mouth will come
Yeah.
anyway. But if you're actually putting in the effort, it can actually lead to business, and then you can actually have follow-up conversations, and it can actually lead to other word of mouth. But if we don't do anything, we're not actually going to get anything. So I just wanted to add something. Alan Weiss, he's one of my favorite consultants. He calls himself the rock star of consulting, and he's written about 66 books. And he was saying to another facilitator that I also follow that we're not actually in the business of speaking, consulting, or training. We're in the business of marketing. And that means selling. It means whether it's writing books, writing articles, doing podcasts. He literally every single day does a minute with Alan, which is a video that goes on all of his social media. He writes emails, which puts out specific offers that people can buy. Then he also has like different newsletters that goes out. Then he does fireside chats. So the other day I was sending to someone, he specifically said their book is still coming out. They had about 3 fireside conversations, which you could sign on for, which was him and this author literally just answering questions, anything marketing or sales related that was coming in, really big value. Okay. But then they have this website where they put offers. So they say, if you buy 2 books, you get access to this downloadable. If you buy 50 books, you get access to this webinar at the value of this. if you buy 500 books or whatever, what are they doing? They're trying to get you to buy a lot of books. And then they also advertise the webinar. So even people that haven't gone that route can also just pay and go to the webinar. But it's also not like tomorrow, it's in 3 months' time. So there's this whole strategy to get enough people to come by the time it happens. So I've seen him, he's going to be speaking in Brisbane, Australia. I think he's been advertising that for about 5 months. There was early bird things. There's been different videos. There's been different webinars to advertise that. Other people are punting it. You know, they're probably like affiliates are getting a little cut if their people come. But it's like, we need to have better strategies and plans in place and realize it doesn't help to just 2 weeks ahead of an event go like, oh, let's put it on social media. Like, no. You need to have proper plans in place and like work at a longer period towards your things. That's just what I learned from him. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to hand over to Mariette and Rebecca. You've got my email address. If you need any other help or you want to refer people to me, please do so. Thank you.
Thank
Cool.
you, Yoke. You're awesome.
Thank you.